Okay, so the first video ended rather abruptly, so apologies for that, but we're going to pick off right off where we left off. So we were on the advantages and disadvantages. We already covered that. We're going to go back over to our Mac and Cloud after our export from Appery, which can just be your Mac device. So after your export finishes, the trick on the Mac device is to be able to find it. So use a little thing called the Finder, picture of the Finder right over here where my mouse is. Click that, click the Downloads button, make sure it's sorted by the date, and you should be able to find your export. So here's my export. It's called People Ready Onboarding 35. Just find the folder, click it open by clicking on the little arrow, find the xCode project portion of it, and click on that. So of note, this is the permanent resting place for your project. You can move it from downloads to another place on your device. I don't generally find a need to do that. So open it up by double clicking. xCode really has it right now, so xCode's this little symbol right here. If you click that, xCode will open up and it'll prompt you. You just click it, tell it to open. Okay, and xCode is actually opening my file right now. So again, click it open again. Click here on your project name, and you'll see that there are several tabs. There's General, Capabilities, Resource Tags, Info, blah, blah, blah. So here's the things to be concerned about as an xCode, as an Appery developer in xCode, starting with how to run and build your product. Again, that's mostly in the Product tab. So Product, you can see that you can run it directly from here. Now before you run, there is one step you need to do, and then you can also archive here. It's not highlighted yet because we haven't actually told it a destination. So quick tutorial in using xCode, you can become productive almost immediately by going to the product page and then selecting a destination. We'll run this really quickly on an iPhone 5S. So scroll down, you can pick your operating system. I'm sure sooner or later in the very short future, we're going to find version 11 of iOS here. So we're going to pick the most recent one, 5S on 10.3.1. I found the iPhone 5S to be very representative of how the build's going to perform. Okay, so now that we've picked a destination, it's pretty easy from here, but we will go through a few of the other settings that I almost always tweak. First of all, you need to have set up xCode and you need to have told it about your development team. I won't go through that here. I just generally tell it about my team, and from here on out, xCode manages all the certificates, etc. Once you've done that, there's a couple of settings that I generally almost always tweak. I do like to support all of the different landscapes on the phone and on the device, and I always uncheck hide status bar if it's checked. On the capabilities page, xCode is not really great about detecting all of your capabilities, at least from an Appery perspective. This application has push notifications turned on. You do that right there, right? I know that. And then I also have in-app purchases running in this particular application as well. In the simulator, a lot of these don't work really right? So push notifications does not work. In-app purchases does not work in the simulator. There's a lot of in-app purchase that does work, but not all of it. And the same thing on the push notification side, you can't test that through the simulator. It, of course, runs when you actually create your build and deploy it to your phone. Other things that are interesting here, I haven't had a lot of occasion to go to the resource tags. I do a lot find myself on the info tab. This is essentially your plist file. You can find things that you need to tweak about your plist and put them there. Appery does a good job recently of doing all those for you. And then build settings, a lot of times I've had to tweak the signing. You can go there by typing in sign, and it will show you, take you directly to a section here. So back to the main topic, which is doing two things, building and running in the simulator. So I do have debug on, meaning I can use Winier, and I can use Winier with my build that's running in the simulator. So I'm going to go back over to the main tabs here, click on General, go back to my product. I already selected a destination, and I'm going to click Run. However, before I do that, since I'm running in multiple machines at the same time, I've got my Windows device that's running my Mac and Cloud. I'm actually going to tab back over to Chrome and start up my debugging session. I've got two monitors here, which you can't see, but what I like to do is have Chrome with my debugging running on one monitor, and then the simulator here on my Mac and Cloud running on the other window. It's super convenient for seeing what's going on in a build. So since I can't give you access to both my monitors here, I am going to start up my Chrome session. Okay, so back over here on my Windows machine, I'm going to open up my Winier session, and note nothing's running just yet. We'll go back over to the Mac and Cloud. Another thing worthy of mentioning, if you're doing actually any kind of team development, having a internet available Mac device is actually quite useful. That way I can have other members of my team actually be building, again, while we're working on potentially multiple products at the same time. Go and look the app's loading auto update because I do have auto update on. So with one of the main points here being that you can actually see more of what's going on, please note that over here in the xCode window, you do have some of the debug information coming out, that which doesn't come out in Winier. So if you actually have an error in your code that's not being caught, you can't find in Winier because Winier is not good at that. You will see it here, so you can capture this log. What I like to do is scrape the log and copy it and paste it somewhere else. So you can see that going on. We'll tab over to Winier real quick. So as you can see, there are a number of things that do run while this simulator is running. You can run location services as well. I'm going to actually allow it here on my application. And so you can actually see the applet while it's running here. There are things that are coming up in the console over here, and then also in your Winier session, everything's running also over here. I do like to log, but that's just my preference. And again, you can do nice things in Winier like expand objects and understand what's going on in the objects, and then you can ask Winier console virtually anything you can ask any other debugger. Okay, so that's a process for launching the simulator and running your product. Next, let's talk about building it. So back over here, again, you're in xCode. You can stop running xCode by simply pressing, I believe, the play button. All right, so there you go, it's stopped now. Let's get our normal view back up. And again, I did that by clicking over here. Okay, so when you're back over here on your main screen, you can navigate back and forth with these forward and backward arrows. So that's what I was doing when I had the video off here for a second. You can go back to your product. And once you're ready to actually deploy it, you're done running on the devices, you can say destination, generic iOS device. That puts you in a place where you can actually do an archive. So we'll do that really quick. We'll do product archive. So this is the process for submitting it to the store. Oh, and we had 2 errors. So good demo. So we'll actually click on the errors and we'll find out that, hey, I've got conflicting provisioning profile setting. So since I'm not going to deploy this to the store, actually request that this particular build go out to the public store, and I'm just going to use beta. I'm going to let xCode still maintain automatically. When you do create your final build that you're going to deploy to the store, I suggest turning this off. So we'll do the process for getting it to the store here. Turn it off, manage the profiles, and I just go to my 2 profiles here for signing and debug. I change those both to my xCode project, and that will take care of my build error. So I'll do a product and I'll build again, or archive again, sorry. And hopefully you'll see my errors go away, right? As it comes up, it will, when it completes building, it'll come up, tell us we've got version 9 available, and I can upload that to the store. So I actually will upload this to the store. So we'll go upload to App Store. I've got a couple extra provisioning profiles here that I won't use. And we'll choose mine. And we'll let it build. It's actually signing the product now. Okay, so once it's ready for upload, I click upload. This is actually sending it to the store. Much like if you use the Appery product, you use the builder, the load builder. the loader, application loader. So this is essentially doing the same functions as that. And it's submitting. This usually takes a couple minutes. I'll stop the video here. So let's do a real quick check against our agenda. We did the preparing. We've exported and imported. We've run Rainier. We didn't go over screenshots, so we'll do that really quick. We did the archive submit, and then we'll also go over using xCode beta process. Okay, so the upload was successful. We'll click done. Once you click done, it generally takes sometimes between 10 and 30 minutes for the store to get it and make it available. So we'll wait that time. While we're waiting for that, we'll do a real quick review of doing screenshots. Okay, so I'm launching the runner again, the simulator. Okay, so really quick, if you want to grab a screenshot, for example, you've got your application a place where it's ready to deploy and you want to get shots for the store, then simply go to File up here and save screenshot. And that screenshot will be loaded to your desktop, your Mac and Cloud desktop. And you can find it here. You can take this and mail it to yourself or copy it and paste it onto your Windows device. Advantage? The advantage is that the screenshot that's taken here is the exact coordinates, the exact sizes that the store likes for submissions. So you don't have to resize a bunch of images. So once your build is loaded, it'll appear with your iOS builds on your Apple iTunes account. We'll click it, get it ready to go. Provide the details they want for export compliance, no, and start internal testing. So with a couple of clicks of the mouse, we're now ready to start testing on our device. So thanks for watching the video. Hope it was helpful in getting you started using xCode to build your Appery builds. If you've got questions, feel free to follow up with me directly. This is my email. You can also find me on my website. And hope you have a great day. Hope this was helpful. Bye now.